Greetings and salutations. Second Star right here with some more Raid Shadow Legends, and it is everyone's favorite event. It is the double summons chance from Ancient Shards, double chance to get epics, double chance to get legendaries, and it's awesome because everyone has a smattering of these, right? Everyone has at least a handful of Ancient Shards that they can use to improve their team and be dazzled by the golds and purples that they can get, and I think that's awesome. They just did this around Christmas time. I had 75 then. I only have 52 now, but that's plenty, right? It's plenty. I'm more of an explorer anyway. I'm not an achiever, as that Bartle's grid of player performance goes. You know, the achievers, explorers, socializers, and killers. I tend to be more on the explorer route, but that's okay, man. The collector in me likes this too. And speaking of the collector in me, since no one's here at home right now to help me be my good luck charms, like the family has been doing so nicely for me recently, I do have something that I was able to acquire, and I'm super happy about it. Let's see if anyone knows what this is. Oh, yes. This is the World Ends With You, It's a Wonderful World 3DS Special Edition. About 15 years ago, and I love that game, by the way, so does my son. And about 15 years ago, we were in New York City, and we were in the Nintendo store, and they had this, like, on a pedestal, like, in a glass box, and my son and I were, like, pawing at it, like, oh my god, it's gorgeous. It was like the crown jewels in there. So, I was able to find this. Some place in Germany had two of them, and I got one for me and one for my son, and they occupy a special place in our hearts. And I'm hoping now that the 3DS will give some of its awesomeness onto my polls here. Let's hope that happens. Okay, I'm going to switch screens, go to the thing, we're going to open the portal. I already cleared my inventory space, so we should be good. I guess I'll do 5-10 polls, and then do the 2 at the end to hopefully make up for any disappointments that I may have as this goes on. Okay, so Serenity now. Okay. Pretty yes. Come on. All right, let's summon 10. What do we got? Okay. All right. Oh, here we go. That's my third Necro Hunter. Okay, and that is my second Vrask. And what do we have here? Okay. Okay. Relax. Okay, relax. I love the Halloween champions, and I only had the Harvest Jack, and now I have Brachus. Now, granted, even though he's the legendary, he's probably still not as good as Madame Saris, and probably still not as good as Mistreated Monster. But he's so cool, and I love his skill set. It's so neat. Let's look at it, shall we? That was actually a really good pull. Now that I'm looking back at it, I got some epics and a Lego in my first 10 pull. But we'll go back to that in a second. Okay, so Innocent Blood level 1 attacks one enemy and heals the champion by 15% of the damage inflicted, which is cool. I mean, it's fine, but it gets cooler. The Full Moon Rampage, his A2 on a 5-turn cooldown, attacks one enemy 6 times. The first hit has a 75% chance of placing a 25% weakened debuff for 3 turns. Heals the champion by 25% of the damage inflicted. Heals the champion by 50% of the damage inflicted instead if the target is under fear or a true fear debuff. So obviously, if he's on a team with the other Halloween champions, they're all throwing fears around like they were opinions. So cool. And then you can get his if you book him. And granted, the new champions always take a lot of books, but you can get that down to a 3-turn cooldown, which is pretty sweet. Okay, Hunter's Howl, his A3. Places a 50% increased attack buff on all allies for 3 turns, and then attacks one enemy 3 times. Each hit has a 50% chance of placing a True Fear debuff. For 1 turn, has a 50% chance of placing a Fear debuff on 2 random enemies for 1 turn if the True Fear debuff is placed. So that's kind of cool. That's a little bonus if you do well. Okay, and then his what is this? An aura? No, it's a passive effect. On a 7-turn cooldown, they can get down to 5 turns. Damage increases by 40% when the champion's hit point drops below 40%. And the active effect on the passive revives the champion with 20% hit points when killed. Immediately grants an extra turn. So So I'm dead. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not. And come back and attack. And I've seen it happen to me in Arena, and it's never pretty. But that's cool. I'm super stoked that I got Brachus. I never anticipated. I never thought I'd see this guy. I know he was a fusion. I didn't bother with the fusion. I didn't have the resources at the time. But oh, that's so sweet. Okay, so I did. I got a Vrask, a Necro Hunter, and a Jizo, and a Brachus. That's pretty sweet. Okay. Okay. Let's reflect. Okay, putting the hand on the 3DS. Okay, 10 summons. Let's go. It's only fair that I get all blues now. Wouldn't even be mad. Okay, so... Oh, here we go. Oh, Grizzled Jarl! I wanted him too! Awesome. Okay, Grizzled Jarl. You see him popping up in Arena a lot lately. His A1 attacks one enemy, defense-based, of course. Attacks one enemy, has a 30% chance of placing 100% heal reduction debuff for 2 turns. Oh, I love heal reduction debuffs in Arena. Places a block debuffs buff on allies for 1 turn, always good. Places a 60% increased defense buff on allies for 2 turns. And that's on a 5-turn cooldown. But again, with books, you can get that down to 3 turns. And it's so cool that if you land your 2 books on this skill, you're done, right? That's pretty good. Your 3-turn defensive cooldown, which is key to survivability. Okay, and then his Earth Stomp is on a 5-turn cooldown. You can get down to 4, but again, a lot of books in these new champions. Attacks all enemies, has a 75% chance of placing a 50% decreased attack debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. Pretty sweet. Grizzled Jarl is a good epic, that is for sure. Okay, so I'm not going to use them. I don't know. Okay, another 10. Let's go. Relic Keeper. I have one, of course. Most people do. It's an early fusion. Canoness. She looks just like Hope, doesn't she? They just kind of flipped her portrait over a little bit. I have no idea what Canoness does. Let's see. Shall we? Sacred Order. Defensive Champion. Attacks one and lead the charge. Attacks one enemy. Has a 25% chance of placing a 25% increase attack buff on a random ally for 2 turns. And you can ascend that, and then attacks an enemy with a 20% chance of placing a 50% increased attack on a random ally for 2 turns. Okay, it's cool that there's an increased attack on an A1, but it's just weird. It's weird that it's random, and I don't know. It's an okay A1. It's not thrilling. Blinding Assault level 1 attacks one enemy, has an 80% chance of placing a 50% decreased accuracy debuff on the target for 2 turns. Okay, again, you know how I feel about decreased accuracy. You can't see it working, so it always feels weak. Stalwart Guardian level 1 places a 50% ally protection buff and a 6% increased defense buff on the target for 2 turns. Also places a 50% continuous heal buff on this champion for 1 turn. Okay, so I'm not too impressed. Canoness is pretty weak. There's a lot of single target stuff when there's plenty of epics out there that do more than just 1 target in herself. So I do not think that this is a very well thought out champion. Maybe more research is required since I don't know much about her, and maybe I'm talking out my butt. But first blush, not that impressive. All right. Oh, and then we have the Twin Clawed Disciple. I didn't even see that. I didn't have one, so that's cool. I actually like that rare. And I didn't have one before, so. Okay, and this... come on, guys, bail me out. All blues, but you know what? I'm fine. I got my Brachus. I'm happy. Okay, all right, what do I have left? Hey, I'm gonna exit real quick just so I can count. 12. Okay, so no. Okay, so 1 more 10 pull, and then 2 singles, and we're good to go. Okay. There we go. Come on. Oh, that's a good way to start. Verges, second Verges. Never built the first one. He was buffed, but still not great. Arrhenius, you needed for the fusion. I already have one all ready to go. Crimson Helm's fantastic champion. I already have one all built. Well, 5-star anyway. Okay, so all duplicates. 3 epics is cool. All duplicates for me. But that's cool because I kind of wanted an extra Arrhenius because I got to fuse the one for Scarhide, which I have not done yet. Okay, so 2 more. I already got brackets. I'm like so stoked that this is all just. I'm considering. I'm gonna save these. I was considering it, but no, I'm not going to. Let's just summon. Let's get going. Okay, and we have Penitent, which I guess is some food. And next, last one, guys. Let's see what it is. Nothing exciting. Well, exciting to look at, I guess. Temptress is a really cool character design. And I'm not going to turn around. I know you're all wondering, is he going to flip the character around? No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not doing it. I'm just going to X. Okay, so I'm tempted to go. Oh, no, I'm not going to do it. Okay, thank you, guys, for this journey. I'm stoked that I have Brachus. I'm totally going to get work on leveling him and outfitting him and putting him somewhere. I don't know where. It doesn't fit in any of my teams right now, but I'm going to figure out a way to use him. I'm going to explore ways to integrate Brachus into my team's probably Arena, because he's really irritating and fun there. And what's more fun than being irritating in PvP? Okay, guys, thank you so much. Please comment what you guys got. I love hearing about all the different champions that y'all got in your polling adventures. Or subscribe would do me really good. I'm 20% of the way there, guys. 20%. Only 80% to go. Actually, it sounds worse when I say it like that. So I'm gonna say I'm 20%. Let's do that. Let's glass 20% full. Subscribe and like. That would be pleasant for me. And guys, take care, and I will see you next time. Enjoy and have fun.